Welcome to Sleepy Science. Tonight, we're traveling into winter, not the cold part, the quiet part, the hidden side of winter that most people never notice, the side where the world slows down, where the air turns still, where snow can stop sound almost completely, where your body changes without you feeling it, where light becomes softer and the night sky becomes clearer than any other time of year. There are winter secrets you have never heard, strange ones, calm ones, facts that will make your mind relax the moment you hear them. Facts that feel like warm breath in cold air fading into silence. So lie back, let the cold season wrap around you like a soft blanket. And before you drift off, subscribe so winter can guide you to sleep again. Winter does not arrive all at once. It moves in slowly, in small signs that most people miss. But your body notices them, even when your mind is busy. And these early moments of winter carry a calm that feels different from every other season. You feel it in the air first, not the cold, but the change. The air becomes a little heavier and a little sharper, as if the world is taking a deeper breath. When this happens, sound starts to behave differently. Voices feel softer, distant noises feel muted. Even busy places seem quieter without you knowing why. This is because winter air holds more weight. Cold air presses down gently, making everything feel still, and that stillness reaches you even if you are not thinking about it. It settles on your skin, on your clothes, and in the way you move. It slows your steps. It calms your thoughts. It makes the whole world feel like it's entering a softer rhythm. As days pass, the nights grow longer in a steady, peaceful stretch. The sun starts to fall a little earlier each day, and the light becomes faint in a way that makes your eyes relax without effort. There is something comforting about this early darkness. It feels like an invitation to rest, a signal from nature telling you that it is okay to slow down. You may not realize it, but your mind listens. When nights grow longer, your brain produces more melatonin. This is the hormone that makes you feel sleepy, the same one that helps your mind settle after a long day. Winter naturally increases it, helping your thoughts soften and your mood quiet. It is one of the reasons winter evenings feel gentle, even on the coldest days. It is not just darkness. It is your body following the season. There is also something comforting about the pace of winter. People hurry less. The world outside feels like it is moving on low volume. Trees stand still. Birds fly less. Even the wind seems to slow, brushing past you in soft, careful movements. And when you feel this shift around you, your own thoughts begin to follow the same slow, calm flow. You might notice that the air smells different too. Cold air sharpens scents, but winter also removes many of them. Grass stops releasing its summer smell. Flowers sleep under the soil. Leaves are gone. What you are left with is a clean, simple scent that feels almost peaceful. It is a natural quiet that reaches your senses in a gentle way. Winter evenings bring another subtle change. Your eyes start to relax because winter light is softer and less intense. There are no strong glares, no harsh reflections, no bright heat trying to grab your attention. Everything turns smooth and low contrast. This kind of light helps your mind stay calm and focused on small things. It has a comforting way of making the world feel closer and safer. When winter air pressure changes, your body reacts too. You may breathe slower without knowing it. You may move more carefully, as if your body is trying to protect its warmth. These natural reactions create a sense of grounding, like you are more connected to your surroundings. Even the way you listen changes. You pay attention to smaller sounds. Footsteps on cold ground, the faint hum of heaters, the soft rustle of wind against windows. Each sound feels clearer because the world is quieter, and in that quiet, your thoughts feel lighter. It becomes easier to think about one thing at a time, easier to let go of stressful ideas, easier to settle into a slow, steady state. This is one of the hidden gifts of winter. It naturally reduces the noise inside your mind. Sometimes you may notice how winter encourages reflection. Cold weather makes people look inward. There are fewer distractions outside, fewer loud moments, fewer reasons to rush. Winter pushes you toward warm places, softer spaces, calmer habits. You might find yourself sitting still more, thinking quietly, or simply enjoying silent moments. This is not laziness. It is nature giving your mind a break. The early part of winter also carries a special kind of comfort, the kind that comes from knowing the world is slowing with you. When nights stretch longer, you don't feel the same pressure to stay active. The darkness feels like a soft curtain closing around your day. It gives your brain a signal that it is time to settle, time to breathe, time to rest. As winter continues, these small shifts stack together, a little more quiet, a little more darkness, a little more stillness, and without forcing anything, your thoughts begin to match the season. Your body moves slower, your mind becomes gentler, your senses open in a softer way, and you begin to feel the calm that only winter can bring. There is something beautiful about how winter arrives. It does not surprise you. It does not rush. It enters with patience, like someone knocking softly on your door. And when it finally settles around you, it wraps your world in a calm that feels deep and steady. You may not always see it, but your mind does. Your brain responds to the cold. It responds to the quiet. It responds to the longer nights and softer light, and all these changes guide you toward a peaceful state, a state where your thoughts are slower, your breathing is easier, and your body feels heavier in the best possible way. Winter's arrival is not just a change outside your window. It is a quiet shift inside you, a calming reset that happens every year, whether you notice it or not. And as you listen to these winter facts, you might feel that same calm growing inside you now, soft, steady, warm against the cold. Cold air has a different personality. The moment you step outside on a winter day, you feel it right away. It touches your skin in a sharper way, almost like the air is holding its shape. There is a reason for this. Cold air is heavier. It packs itself tightly, layer by layer, until the space around you feels firm and crisp. And once you understand why this happens, winter becomes even more interesting and even more calming. Warm air spreads out and moves freely. It carries moisture, scents, and heat in wide waves. But cold air pulls everything in. Its molecules stay close together, like people huddling for warmth. This makes winter air dense and smooth, almost like the world is wrapped in a quiet, invisible blanket. And when you breathe it in, your nose feels the difference instantly. It feels cleaner, sharper, almost fresh in a way that wakes your senses without making you uncomfortable. This heavier air changes how things sound. In winter, sound travels farther and clearer because cold air is strong enough to carry it without breaking it apart. That is why footsteps on frozen ground have a louder snap, why the crunch of snow feels crisp, why even distant noises seem closer. It is not your imagination. It is the science of winter working in soft, simple ways. Think about how your voice sounds on a warm summer day. It feels lighter, softer, and more spread out. Now think about how your voice sounds when the air is freezing. It feels stronger and sharper, almost like it has edges. This happens because cold air holds on to sound waves more tightly, guiding them forward in a straight line instead of letting them fade too quickly. This makes winter feel clearer, but also quieter at the same time. A strange balance that only the cold season creates. Even the silence feels different. In winter, the world contains fewer layers of sound. There are fewer insects, fewer birds, less wind. Trees stay still, grass stays flat. There is no buzzing, no humming, no soft whir of life that usually fills warm months. All those tiny noises fade away in the cold, leaving behind a clean space where even small sounds stand out. This is why winter nights feel peaceful in a deep, almost surprising way. The crisp feeling of winter air also comes from humidity. or rather, the lack of it. Cold air cannot hold much moisture, so winter becomes naturally dry. That dryness gives the air a light bite, a kind of sharpness that touches your lips and your hands before you even notice it. This dryness makes breathing feel easy, almost bright. Your lungs take in the cold air, and it wakes your senses in a gentle but noticeable way. And even though this crispness can feel sharp, it also brings a strange comfort. It makes you feel awake, but calm at the same time. If you pay attention, you might notice how smells change in winter too. The dense air holds scents closer to the ground. There is no drifting, no spreading, no blending like in warmer seasons. Scents stay clean and simple. The smell of wood smoke, the smell of cold metal, the faint smell of snow, which is really just the absence of smell at all. This simplicity makes winter feel pure, almost like the world is taking a quiet pause. But one of the most interesting things about cold air is how it changes your breathing. When you breathe in winter air, your body warms it instantly. Your lungs expand a little slower. Your breath leaves your body in a soft cloud that you can actually see. This visible breath gives you a sense of rhythm, a small, natural reminder that your body moves in cycles. It is almost meditative, even though you are not trying to meditate. Winter guides you toward calm without asking anything from you. Cold air also affects the sky. Because it lacks moisture, winter skies become clearer and more detailed. Stars shine brighter. The moon looks sharper. Clouds look smoother. This clarity is the same reason winter air feels crisp on your skin. Everything becomes clean, simple, and easy for your eyes to follow. That is why winter nights feel deep, as if the sky is wider and more open. You might also notice that your ears feel more sensitive in winter. This is because the cold makes the skin around your ears tighten slightly, helping them pick up sound more directly. Your ears are not better at hearing. The air is just better at carrying those sounds. This is why even a quiet wind feels loud in winter. Why you can hear snow falling when the world is still. Why footsteps behind you feel closer than they really are. The air becomes a natural amplifier, soft but powerful. Your mind reacts to this change as well. When the air feels dense and crisp, your thoughts tend to slow down. You begin to focus on small things. Your breathing, your footsteps, the way the cold air sits on your face. These small details pull your mind into the present moment in a gentle, easy way. It is a form of natural grounding that winter provides without effort. You do not need to force yourself to calm down. Winter does it for you. And because winter is quieter overall, you may find your thoughts becoming clearer too. There are fewer distractions, fewer loud moments, fewer reasons to rush. This open space inside your mind allows your thoughts to settle in a soft, steady pattern. It gives you time to reflect without feeling pressured, time to breathe slowly, time to enjoy the calm that winter air brings. Cold air also sends subtle signals to your brain. When the skin feels the temperature drop, your brain activates systems that conserve warmth. Your body becomes more aware of itself. You notice your hands, you feel your breath, you sense your heartbeat a little more clearly. This awareness creates a grounding effect that can feel soothing if you allow it. It is nature's way of helping you stay connected to your own body. There is also a natural hook in the way cold air changes your vision. Winter light scatters differently because the air is denser. This makes the world look softer, even when the air feels sharp. It is a strange mix, the sharp air on your skin and the soft light on your eyes. This contrast makes winter feel dreamy and real at the same time. It slows your reactions, it softens your thoughts, it helps your mind settle into a peaceful rhythm. When you add all these small changes together, winter becomes more than a cold season. It becomes a calm experience shaped by science. Dense air, sharp sounds, soft light, simple scents, quiet spaces. Your body responds to each one carefully, guiding you toward rest without you even thinking about it. Winter air feels different because it is different. And the moment you understand its quiet science, the season becomes calming in a deeper, more beautiful way. Snow has a kind of quiet that feels almost unreal. When it begins to fall, the whole world changes in a soft, gentle way. The air becomes slower, sounds become softer, even your own thoughts seem to settle, as if the snow is giving everything around you a calm, peaceful pause. There is a reason snowfall feels this way, and once you understand it, the silence of snow becomes even more soothing. Snow absorbs sound better than almost anything in nature. Each snowflake is filled with tiny pockets of air. When millions of these flakes land on the ground, they create a thick, fluffy layer full of small, empty spaces. Sound tries to move through that layer, but it gets trapped inside those pockets. The sound waves break apart and fade quickly, which is why snowy days feel so silent. It is not just your imagination. It is the structure of snow calming the world around you. This quiet has a deep effect on your mind. It makes you feel safe. It makes you breathe a little slower. It lets your brain reset. The way snowflakes form adds even more magic to the feeling of calm. High in the sky, water vapor begins to freeze around tiny particles of dust or pollen. This process is slow and delicate. Each flake grows outward, one thin layer at a time. Ice crystals connect in careful patterns, building tiny shapes that branch out in balanced lines. It is nature building art from cold air. The temperature must be just right, and the conditions must stay steady. If the air is too warm, the flake melts. If it is too dry, it cannot grow. But when everything is perfect, a snowflake forms with a beauty that seems almost impossible. These ice crystals follow simple rules of symmetry. They build themselves into six-sided shapes that look like tiny stars. Some have long, thin arms, some look like feathers, some look like frozen flowers. Every flake is shaped by the exact path it takes through the clouds. A small change in temperature or humidity can give it new patterns and branches. This is why no two snowflakes look exactly the same. And this slow, careful formation is part of what makes snowfall feel calming. Your mind loves patterns. It finds comfort in symmetry and gentle shapes. So even when you cannot see each flake clearly, your brain reacts to the idea of this natural order. Snow also falls slowly because of its shape. The flakes are light and wide, so the air holds them for a long time as they fall. This slow descent gives snowfall a peaceful rhythm. It feels like time is moving at half speed. You watch the flakes float down instead of drop down. They move in soft paths, dancing in small turns, taking their time. This slow movement naturally relaxes your eyes and your thoughts. Your brain follows the motion, becoming steady and calm. The air changes during snowfall as well. Cold air gets quieter, but snow adds an extra layer of silence. It covers the ground like a soft blanket, smoothing out the rough edges of the world. Footsteps sound gentle. Cars sound distant. Voices become low and warm. This deep quiet makes winter feel like it is giving you space to rest. It is one of the few moments when the world feels truly peaceful. There is something soothing about watching snowflakes land. They gather slowly, building soft shapes that change the landscape little by little. A roof becomes white, a tree branch becomes thick and gentle, a street becomes muted and smooth. This gradual transformation gives your mind time to follow along. It creates a slow, calming rhythm that feels cozy even if you are not outside. You might notice that snowfall changes the light, too. Snow reflects almost all the light that touches it. When the ground is covered in white, the world feels brighter, even on cloudy days. But this brightness is soft, not harsh. It spreads out evenly, with no sharp shadows. Your eyes relax when the light is like this. You do not have to squint or adjust. This peaceful light adds to the quiet feeling snow brings. When you step outside during snowfall, your senses adjust. Your footsteps sink softly into the snow. Your breathing becomes visible in the cold air. The world feels close, padded, and gentle. This sensory calm reaches you without effort. It is nature slowing down your surroundings so your body can slow down too. Snow also changes the way you listen. When sound is absorbed by the snow, your ears tune into smaller noises. You start to notice tiny details, the soft tap of a flake landing on your coat, the faint crunch under your boots, the light whisper of wind moving through snowy branches. These sounds feel delicate and close. Your attention sharpens in a soft, peaceful way. Your mind becomes present, and presence is one of the most calming states you can experience. There is also a quiet sense of wonder in snowfall. It reminds you of how complex and beautiful nature can be, even in simple moments. A tiny snowflake forming in the sky, millions landing together in silence, the world transforming one small piece at a time. These ideas pull your thoughts into a relaxed, curious place. They give your mind a gentle distraction from daily noise, a natural hook that keeps you listening without pressure. Snow's cooling effect on the air helps your body, too. Cold air can slow your heart rate slightly. It can make your breathing smoother. It can bring a calm alertness that feels clean and refreshing. This combination of quiet sounds and light cold creates a special kind of peace that many people feel even before they understand why. There is also a mental comfort in the softness of snow. Hard edges in the world disappear, branches look gentle, streets look smooth, everything feels rounded and safe. This visual softness helps your brain relax because your eyes are drawn to calm, simple shapes. Snow gives the world a natural softness that feels safe and warm inside your mind. And when snowfall continues for hours, the world settles into a deep quiet. You hear less, you see less movement. The air feels still and safe. This stillness touches something inside you. It makes your thoughts slow down. It makes your breathing steady. It lets your mind step back from everything else and rest in the calm of the moment. Snow's silent magic comes from tiny details, air pockets, ice crystals, slow formation, soft light, quiet sounds. Each detail adds a layer of peace, and together they create one of the most calming moments in nature, a moment that feels gentle, a moment that feels peaceful, a moment that feels safe. Winter light has a calm personality that feels different the moment you notice it. It doesn't rush. It doesn't show up bright or sharp. It feels soft, pale, and gentle on your eyes. Many people say winter light makes them feel peaceful without knowing why, and the reason comes from simple science, mixed with the way your mind reacts to slow, quiet changes in the sky. In winter, the sun sits lower in the sky. Instead of shining straight down, it comes in at a shallow angle. This angle stretches the sunlight across the atmosphere, giving it more space to spread and soften. The light loses its harshness. It becomes milky, calm, almost sleepy. Your eyes relax because the light has no strong bite to it. It doesn't overwhelm you. It settles into the world gently, like a quiet guest arriving slowly. This angle also makes shadows longer and smoother. Instead of sharp lines on the ground, you get soft shapes that fade at the edges. Your eyes love this softness. Your brain does, too. Harsh light makes your mind feel alert and busy, but winter light makes your thoughts slow down. It gives your mind room to rest while still keeping the world visible in a comfortable glow. Winter light also feels cool because the atmosphere filters out more direct sunlight during this season. The earth is tilted away from the sun, so sunlight travels through more layers of air before it reaches you. During this long journey, the stronger colors like deep reds and bright yellows get scattered. What reaches your eyes is a soft mix of pale blue, gentle white, and light gray. These colors are calming by nature. They do not demand attention. They do not jump out at you. They make the world feel slower and more peaceful. Sunrises change in winter, too. They take their time. The sun rises later because our part of the earth faces away from direct light for a longer part of the day. This creates a long, slow transition from night to morning. Instead of the sky brightening quickly, it brightens in layers. First, a deep blue, then a lighter blue, then a soft silver glow that spreads gently across the horizon. And finally, the sun appears with a pale, warm color that feels quiet instead of strong. This slow sunrise has a natural hook that pulls your mind into a calm focus. There is something deeply comforting about watching the sky change one small shade at a time. It feels steady, predictable, balanced. Your body responds to these gentle changes by releasing calming signals. Your breathing evens out. Your thoughts slow. You feel grounded without trying. Winter sunrises give your brain the same feeling as someone speaking softly first thing in the morning. No rush, no pressure, no noise. The colors of winter light have their own story. Cold air holds less moisture, and low moisture makes the sky clearer. This clarity lets you see more subtle shades. The faint pinks close to the horizon, the soft gold lines around the clouds, the gray-blue tones that blend smoothly together. These colors appear more often in winter because the sunlight is spread out gently across the clear air. Even during the day, winter light feels less intense. The sun stays low, and clouds reflect light in wide, soft patches. When snow is on the ground, the effect becomes even stronger. Snow reflects almost all the light that touches it, but instead of making things harsh or bright, it spreads the light evenly, creating a smooth glow that feels peaceful. This kind of lighting makes the world look clean and simple, like all the extra details have been softened. Your eyes react to this simplicity. They do not have to work hard. They do not have to adjust quickly. This slow, steady vision helps your mind settle into a gentle rhythm. It is one reason winter walks feel so calming. Even if it is cold, the light around you encourages your body to relax. Winter sunsets are special too. Because the sun stays low, the evening colors stretch across the sky for a longer time. Warm colors like orange and pink spread out slowly, mixing with cool blues. The contrast between warm and cold colors makes the sky look soft and deep at the same time. Your mind feels a quiet sense of wonder, not because the colors are bright, but because they are delicate. They look like they were painted in thin, slow strokes. Another reason winter light feels calming comes from the air itself. Cold air is denser and cleaner. Without heat rising quickly, dust and water droplets stay low or freeze, leaving the upper air clearer. This clarity lets sunlight pass through with little distortion, giving winter light that crisp, pure look. It feels honest. It feels simple. It feels steady. Your brain responds to this visual clarity by slowing your internal speed. Everything feels easier to process. Even on cloudy winter days, the light is gentle. Thick winter clouds act like a giant natural diffuser. They spread sunlight evenly across the sky, removing sharp highlights and dark shadows. The result is soft gray light that feels quiet. Some people say winter clouds make the world feel peaceful because nothing stands out too sharply. Your eyes move smoothly from one thing to another. Nothing interrupts your focus. Nothing fights for your attention. This kind of soft light is associated with calm in many parts of life. Relaxed photography, cozy reading corners, early mornings, quiet evenings. Winter gives you that calming light naturally. You do not have to create it. It surrounds you as part of the season. The slow path of the winter sun also affects your internal clock. Your body senses the gentle light and sends signals that help you settle down earlier. You may feel sleepy a little sooner. You may feel calmer as the day ends. This is not a sign of weakness. It is a natural response to soft light. Your body follows the rhythm the season provides. There is a natural hook in the colors of winter skies, too. Your brain loves subtle gradients, slow changes from one shade to another. Winter creates these gradients naturally. The pale blues blend into silver. The silver blends into soft gold. The clouds reflect faint lines of color that look fragile and peaceful. Your mind follows these transitions with ease. It feels safe and quiet in the presence of gentle change. All these small details, low sunlight, pale colors, soft shadows, clear skies, work together to create the calming feeling winter light brings. It is one of the reasons winter feels peaceful, even when the air is cold. Your eyes see softness, your mind sees balance, your body reacts with calm. Winter light does not shout, it whispers, it guides, it settles the world into a slower, gentler rhythm. And once you notice how it moves, the quiet beauty of winter becomes even more comforting. Cold weather has a special way of settling into the mind, and you can feel it even before you begin to understand why. Something about winter makes your thoughts soften and your body slow down, and this isn't just a feeling. Your brain changes in real and noticeable ways during the cold months, and these changes create a calm that feels deeper than usual. As the days get shorter and the air becomes colder, your senses naturally start to shift. You notice things more quietly. Your energy feels different. Your inner world becomes softer, like it is moving at its own gentle speed. One of the main reasons for this calm is light. During winter, there is less blue light in the sky, especially in the early morning and late afternoon. Blue light is the type that tells your brain to stay sharp, alert, and awake, but when winter comes, that signal becomes weaker. The sky turns pale, the sunlight becomes slower and softer, and your brain starts to adjust to that change. With less blue light entering your eyes, your mind naturally steps out of its fast daytime mode and starts moving into a slower, more peaceful pace. You may not notice the moment this shift happens, but your body does. It's like a quiet message telling you that it's okay to relax. This change in light affects a very important chemical called melatonin. Melatonin is the hormone that helps your body know when it's time to rest, and in winter, your brain makes more of it. Since the nights come earlier and stay longer, your internal clock gets a stronger signal to slow down. You might find yourself yawning earlier than usual or feeling ready for bed sooner than you expect. You may also feel your muscles relax more easily and your thoughts become less busy as the evening comes. This happens because your melatonin level rises faster in winter, guiding your body toward rest with a gentle, natural push. At the same time, there is another shift happening inside your brain. Your body tries to save energy when the weather is cold, and because of that, you may feel a quiet urge to move less and rest more. This isn't laziness, it's biology. Resting is the body's way of staying warm and using energy wisely during colder months. Even animals follow this pattern, and humans feel a smaller but similar pull toward comfort and stillness. You might notice that warm places feel even warmer, soft blankets feel even softer, and quiet evenings feel even more peaceful. Winter makes your senses more aware of these simple comforts, and your brain responds by settling into a calmer rhythm. There is also something special about cold air itself. When you breathe in cool air, your body sends a signal to your nervous system that makes your heart rate slow slightly. Your breathing becomes deeper without you trying. Your muscles may loosen just a bit more each time you exhale. This natural response helps your mind feel safer and more grounded, and the calm begins to spread through your whole body. It's one reason why winter nights feel so soothing. Even if the world outside is silent and still, your brain is reacting to the cold in a way that supports rest. All of these changes come together in a quiet way. None of them happen with a sudden effect. They build slowly, like a soft wave passing through your thoughts. You might notice small moments during winter when everything feels more peaceful than usual, like when you step outside and the air feels fresh and gentle, or when you look at the pale sky and feel your mind settle. These moments are part of the natural calm that winter brings, and your brain follows that rhythm without effort. Another reason winter feels so restful is that there is less sensory noise. Cold weather often comes with softer sounds, thick air, slow winds, and calm landscapes remove many of the loud distractions we experience in other seasons. When your mind has fewer things to process, it naturally becomes quieter. That space creates room for calm. It creates room for deeper thought or gentle relaxation without forcing anything. Your brain enjoys this break from constant stimulation, and your thoughts start to feel more peaceful and steady. Even your emotions follow this pattern. The slower pace of winter often encourages reflection and quiet moments. You might find yourself thinking in softer ways or noticing details you usually ignore. The warm colors inside your home, the sound of a heater turning on, or the simple comfort of holding something warm all feel stronger during the cold season. These tiny moments create a sense of safety and stillness that helps your mind settle. Your brain understands these cues and relaxes into them. The calming effect of winter is also connected to a small part of your brain called the hypothalamus. This part controls your temperature, your sleep cycle, and many of your body's natural rhythms. During winter, the hypothalamus works a little harder to keep you warm and balanced. As it adjusts to colder temperatures, it often nudges your body into a gentler state, helping you save energy. That shift creates a natural pull toward rest, comfort, and quiet moments. You might feel like slowing down in the evening or staying still for longer periods, and that is your brain helping you adapt. There is beauty in how winter gently guides the body toward calm. It doesn't force anything. It doesn't rush anything. It simply changes the environment in a way that your mind responds to without effort. You begin to breathe a little easier. You start noticing quiet moments more. You feel comfortable with slower thoughts. And slowly, this calm becomes a part of your daily rhythm during the colder months. When you understand how your brain reacts to winter, you start to appreciate the season in a different way. Winter isn't just cold and dark. It is a time designed for rest, reflection, and gentle breathing. Your senses settle. Your mind clears. Your body returns to a softer state. And in that space, you find a calm that feels natural and comforting. This is why winter feels so soothing. Your brain is working with the season, not against it. The colder air, the softer light, the longer nights, and the natural changes inside your body all come together to create a calm that feels deep and peaceful. When you allow yourself to follow this rhythm, you step into a kind of quiet that is hard to find in any other season. When winter comes, animals begin to move in a quiet and careful rhythm that matches the changing world around them. Their actions are calm, steady, and purposeful, and watching how they prepare for the cold season can feel strangely comforting. Nature slows down in a way that feels soft and peaceful, and every creature responds to winter with its own gentle plan. These changes happen slowly, almost silently, and they show how deeply connected animals are to the cold months. One of the most calming things in nature is hibernation. Many animals enter a long, restful state that helps them survive the winter with very little energy. When the temperature drops and food becomes harder to find, animals like bears, groundhogs, and hedgehogs begin to prepare for their long sleep. They eat more during the warmer months, storing energy in their bodies so they can rest for weeks or even months without needing to search for food. Their heartbeat slows, their breathing becomes quiet and steady, and their bodies enter a state that uses very little energy. It is not like normal sleep. It is much deeper, almost like the body is resting on a gentle pause. This slow and peaceful state helps them survive even the coldest days while staying warm and safe inside their dens. Hibernation shows how nature understands the rhythm of winter better than we do. The animals do not fight the season. They follow it. They allow the cold to guide them into calm and stillness. Even bears, who look powerful and strong, become gentle during this time. They curl up in warm spaces, protected from snow and wind, and let their bodies rest in a deep and natural peace. Their dens become like quiet shelters where the world outside can freeze while they stay tucked away in warmth. But not all animals sleep through the winter. Some travel instead, and these journeys are just as calming to learn about. Bird migration is one of nature's most peaceful patterns. When winter approaches, many birds begin to feel a signal deep inside their bodies, a quiet push that tells them it's time to move. This signal comes from changes in sunlight, temperature, and even the magnetic field of the earth. Birds do not rush when they migrate. They gather in gentle groups and rise into the sky in smooth waves. Their wings move in a steady, calming rhythm, and they follow paths that their species has known for thousands of years. Some birds fly hundreds of miles, some fly thousands, and they do it with a kind of calm confidence, as if the sky itself is guiding them. Geese fly in a V shape to save energy and help each other. Small songbirds travel mainly at night, using the stars to guide them. Even tiny hummingbirds, with their fast wings and bright colors, can travel long distances to reach warmer places. Migration is one of nature's soft reminders that every creature has a path, and winter helps guide them toward it. Other animals stay where they are but slow down in gentle ways. Squirrels gather food during autumn, hiding nuts and seeds in many places so they can find them later. As winter sets in, they rest more, move less, and stay inside their nests to keep warm. Their bodies know that warmth is precious, and they adjust their behavior to protect it. Deer grow thicker coats, and their bodies become better at saving heat. They move quietly through forests, choosing places with shelter from the wind. Even their footsteps sound softer on winter ground, as if nature itself has turned down the volume. Many animals also change their appearance for the season. This change is slow and calming to watch. Arctic foxes and snowshoe hares, for example, turn white in winter so they can blend into the snow. Their soft, pale fur helps them stay safe from predators and also keeps them warm. This transformation is not rushed. It happens little by little, following the cold days with gentle timing. Snowy owls remain in their white feathers all year, but they become easier to spot on open, frozen landscapes where they move with patient steps. Fish in lakes and ponds take on their own quiet rhythm. When the water at the surface becomes cold, the warmer water sinks to the bottom, creating a safe layer where fish can rest. They move slowly, saving energy, and gather near the deepest parts of the water where the temperature stays steady. Their world becomes quiet and dim, and their calm movements create a peaceful underwater winter. Many insects also survive winter through stillness. Some hide under bark, some rest underground, and some freeze gently, protected by natural chemicals in their bodies that keep their cells safe. Ladybugs gather in large groups inside tiny cracks or warm corners, creating clusters that help them share heat. Butterflies like the monarch travel great distances, but others stay and enter a resting state similar to hibernation. Even bees stay in their hives during winter, forming a warm cluster where they gently vibrate their wings to keep the queen warm. Their hive becomes a quiet, humming shelter against the cold. All these behaviors show how deeply winter shapes the rhythm of life. No creature rushes. No creature ignores the season. They all move into a slower, softer way of living that matches the calm of winter itself. Watching this can bring a sense of peace to your own mind, because nature reminds you that slowing down is not something to fight. It is something natural, something needed, something wise. Winter teaches animals to use their energy carefully. Every movement matters, every choice matters. Animals look for warm places, safe shelters, and quiet moments to rest. They live closer to the earth, closer to the trees, and closer to the simple rhythms that help them survive. This gentle way of living shows how peaceful nature can become when the world turns cold. There is a harmony in this season, a kind of quiet system where every animal plays a part. Nothing is wasted, nothing is rushed. Everything fits together like pieces of a calm, frozen puzzle. You can feel that harmony when you watch animals preparing for winter, or when you think about how carefully they follow the season's signals. It creates a sense of balance that is comforting to imagine, especially when the world around you feels loud or busy. Understanding how animals adapt reminds you that winter is not empty or harsh. It is a season full of quiet planning and gentle routines. Every creature finds its own way to stay warm, safe, and steady, and in their stillness there is a kind of wisdom that feels calming to the mind. Winter is not just a cold season. It is a peaceful teacher, showing that rest, patience, and slow movements are not signs of weakness. They are signs of knowing how to survive. In this soft and quiet world, animals move with care. They follow traditions older than history. They prepare not with fear, but with a gentle understanding of the season. And when you look closely, you find that their calm becomes your calm, their stillness becomes your stillness, and the winter rhythm of nature settles into your thoughts like a soft breath of cold, clean air. When winter settles in and the temperature falls, lakes begin to change in a slow, careful way that feels almost magical. The surface that once moved with soft ripples starts to stiffen, and the water becomes quieter with every cold night. You might look at a frozen lake and see a single sheet of ice, but the process that creates it is gentle and layered. It begins at the top, where the cold touches the surface first. The water there cools until it becomes heavy, then sinks, allowing slightly warmer water to rise. This cycle repeats again and again, each time bringing colder water to the surface, until finally the top layer freezes and forms a thin sheet of ice. This thin layer grows thicker over time. Each new night adds another quiet step to the process. The ice expands outward, reaching farther across the lake and then downward, building strength inch by inch. Lakes rarely freeze all at once. They freeze patiently. They freeze in smooth layers that trap tiny pockets of air, making the ice look like it holds small stars or soft white clouds inside it. When you stand near a frozen lake, you feel that slow work of winter under your feet, even if you cannot see it happening. As the ice thickens, it begins to create sounds that surprise people who hear them for the first time. These sounds are calm but strange, like long whispers or soft echoes that stretch across the frozen surface. Sometimes you hear gentle cracks that ring through the ice like the sound of a quiet musical note. These sounds are not signs of danger. They are signs of movement, caused by changes in temperature. When the air gets colder, the ice contracts. When the air warms slightly, the ice expands. That movement makes soft popping sounds, long echoes, or deep tones that seem to travel under your feet. These sounds can move across the lake faster than you expect. A crack may start on one side and echo all the way to the other, creating a long, peaceful wave of sound that fades slowly into the winter air. It's one of nature's most relaxing voices, especially in quiet places where there is no traffic or noise to cover it. Some people describe it as the ice singing, and that description feels right when you hear the sound travel across the frozen surface like a calm message from deep below. Under the ice, the world becomes still in a very unique way. The thick layer of ice protects the water beneath it from wind, light, and sudden changes in temperature. Fish move slowly, saving energy, and the colder water sinks to the bottom where the temperature stays almost the same all winter. In this layer of water, life moves gently. Fish make small, controlled movements. Plants sit quietly, waiting for spring. Even the smallest creatures settle into slow rhythms that match the winter season. If you could sit underwater during winter, you would hear very little. The thick ice above you blocks most noise. Even footsteps on the surface become soft, distant sounds. The world underwater feels almost like it is holding its breath. Light filters through the ice in pale blue or white beams, making the water look calm and cool, as if time itself has slowed down. The silence under a frozen lake is one of the quietest places in nature. The ice also forms patterns that are beautiful to look at. When the ice grows quickly, it can trap tiny bubbles in long lines or in circles that look like white pearls. Sometimes, cracks form geometric shapes across the surface, almost like a frozen spiderweb. These shapes tell the story of how the ice froze, where it stretched, where it bent, and where the temperature changed. None of these patterns are dangerous. They are simply part of the natural movement of ice as it forms and adjusts. Some lakes form clear ice that looks like a sheet of glass, giving you a view straight down into the water below. Other lakes form cloudy ice that looks soft and milky because of the air trapped inside. As winter continues, snow may fall on top of the ice, creating another layer of quiet. Snow makes everything softer. It muffles sound, reducing even the gentle cracks and whispers of the ice. A frozen lake covered in snow becomes a place of deep stillness, where the world feels heavier and more peaceful. The snow adds insulation, keeping the ice cold and thick and protecting the underwater world even more. Animals like foxes or deer might walk across the snowy surface, leaving gentle footprints that mark their silent journey across the frozen lake. Sometimes, when the snow melts slightly during the day and freezes again at night, a thin glaze of smooth ice forms on top. This creates a glassy surface that catches the low winter sunlight. The lake becomes a giant mirror, reflecting the sky, the trees, and the pale winter colors around it. On those days, frozen lakes feel like something from a quiet dream, held between motion and stillness. People walking near frozen lakes often feel a deep sense of calm, even if they don't fully understand the science behind it. There is something comforting about the way the lake settles into its winter form, layer by layer, without rushing. It reminds you that nature always finds a way to balance itself, even in the coldest times. The steady creation of ice, the slow movement of water beneath it, and the gentle sounds that echo across the surface all combine to form a peaceful winter rhythm that feels almost meditative. When temperatures rise slightly, the ice responds again with soft, expanding sounds. These are not sharp or frightening sounds. They are long and smooth, almost like the low hum of a distant instrument. They remind you that even in stillness there is movement. Even in the coldest season, the world continues its quiet work. The freezing of a lake is one of winter's calmest transformations. It shows how water, sound, temperature, and time come together to create something that feels peaceful and steady. Whether the ice is clear and smooth or snowy and soft, it holds a serenity that seems to spread through the air around it. People often stand near frozen lakes without speaking, as if the quiet asks them to slow their thoughts and simply watch. In its frozen state, a lake becomes a reminder of winter's quiet strength. It shows how nature can pause without stopping, how it can rest without losing its purpose, and how even the coldest moments carry a sense of calm and beauty. The ice whispers, the water rests, and the world above and below finds a peaceful balance that lasts until spring returns. When winter arrives, it brings with it a quiet cold that wraps around everything. The chill touches your skin as soon as you step outside, making each breath feel sharp and crisp. Yet, in this cold, there is a strange kind of comfort waiting to be found. It is in the small, warm places that suddenly feel more inviting than at any other time of year. A soft blanket, a steaming cup of tea, or the glow from a fire can seem like a small miracle when the cold presses against your windows. Winter has a way of making warmth feel deeper, richer, and more necessary, and that is part of its quiet magic. The cold itself makes warmth more noticeable. During summer, heat is common, and we hardly notice it. But when temperatures drop, our senses become more aware of any heat around us. The walls of a room, the clothing we wear, and even the warmth of another person's hand suddenly feel precious. Our skin reacts more sensitively to small differences in temperature. A heated chair, a wool scarf, or a mug warmed by your hands can provide immediate comfort. Winter makes these everyday sources of warmth feel extraordinary, as if each one is a small, personal treasure. Humans have long been shaped to respond to the cold in these ways. Our brains interpret the contrast between the harsh outdoor chill and the soft, safe indoor spaces as relief. That relief triggers a calming feeling, a natural pause that allows the mind to slow down. Being warm after being cold gives us a sense of security and comfort. This is why people tend to spend more time indoors during winter, enjoying quiet activities like reading, writing, or simply resting. The world outside may be cold and unforgiving, but inside, warmth feels like a gentle hug. The desire for warmth in winter also shapes our behavior in subtle ways. We move more slowly, choosing comfort over speed. We seek soft surfaces like cushions and blankets. We light fires or turn on heaters, and even the simple act of gathering around a small heat source can feel magical. There is a rhythm to this behavior, almost a dance between the cold outside and the warmth we create inside. Each action, from putting on a pair of gloves to boiling water for tea, becomes a small ritual that brings calm and satisfaction. These rituals make winter feel both cozy and mindful, allowing us to notice details we might otherwise miss. Psychologists say that warm spaces in cold seasons also influence our emotions. Warmth makes us feel safe, which reduces stress and increases relaxation. When it is cold outside, being inside a warm room triggers the release of chemicals in the brain that help us feel content. It is part of why winter evenings spent near a fireplace or under layers of blankets often feel so peaceful. There is a connection between temperature and emotion that becomes more visible in winter, revealing the subtle ways our bodies and minds respond to the environment. Our homes, shelters, and even the smallest warm spots in nature become sanctuaries. A sunbeam shining through a window can warm a small patch of floor, inviting a cat, a dog, or even a person to rest there. That little warm corner becomes a center of calm, a place where time slows naturally. Snow-covered landscapes outside make these warm spaces even more striking. The world may be quiet, pale, and cold, but indoors, warmth stands out like a small, glowing beacon. The contrast between the harsh outside and the soft inside heightens the sense of comfort, making every cozy moment feel more vivid. Winter also changes the way we perceive texture. Fabrics feel different when the air is cold. A blanket that felt ordinary in summer now feels thicker, softer, and more inviting. The soft pile of a rug or the smooth warmth of a wooden surface can bring calm attention to the senses. Even small touches, like holding a warm cup in your hands or feeling the heat from a stove, become sources of gentle fascination. The cold outside teaches us to notice these sensations in ways that warmer seasons do not. Winter turns the ordinary into the extraordinary, making simple comforts seem like treasures. Outside, the cold can make us more aware of movement and energy. A brisk walk through snow or a frosty garden makes warmth indoors feel even sweeter. The body responds naturally, blood flows faster to the core, hands and feet feel icy, and every warm breath from a cup of tea or soup is amplified in pleasure. This interplay between cold and warmth creates a rhythm that is soothing to the mind. It reminds us that life continues, even in quiet and frozen moments. Each movement from cold to warmth carries a subtle emotional reward that is unique to the winter season. The cold also strengthens our social instincts. People gather closer together indoors, whether around a fire, in a kitchen, or under a shared blanket. The act of sharing warmth through conversation, food, or just physical closeness creates a deep sense of connection. Winter naturally encourages these small, comforting bonds. It slows life down, not forcefully, but gently, allowing humans to notice each other in quiet ways. That sense of connection adds another layer of calm and comfort to the winter experience. Even the natural world contributes to this feeling. Snow outside, quiet and soft, emphasizes the warmth we create inside. Frost on windows or ice on trees can frame the indoors like a delicate painting, highlighting the contrast between the harsh outside and the soft inside. Light reflects differently in winter, often pale and low, which makes warm rooms glow even more. The combination of cold landscapes and warm spaces creates a sensory experience that feels complete and soothing. Our attention is naturally drawn to warmth, and the mind relaxes as it lingers in these safe, gentle environments. Humans instinctively seek warmth because it is a sign of life and safety. In winter, that instinct becomes more pronounced. Being near heat feels comforting because it signals survival and security. This is why, in every culture, winter brings traditions centered on warmth, lighting fires, gathering indoors, and enjoying hot food or drinks. These actions are not just practical, they also provide calm, pleasure, and mental rest. Winter invites us to slow down, to notice the sensations of warmth, and to allow ourselves to enjoy moments of quiet comfort. Even brief moments of warmth can be powerful. Placing hands near a candle flame, sipping hot chocolate, or standing near a radiator can instantly calm the mind. The contrast between the cold just experienced and the warm environment activates a sense of satisfaction and peace. Winter has a way of making even small gestures feel significant. The season teaches patience, attention, and appreciation for sensory details that might go unnoticed in warmer months. It reminds us that comfort is not just about what we have, but about how we experience it in relation to the world around us. Warmth in winter is also connected to light. Sunlight entering a room through frosted windows or reflecting off snow can create glowing spaces that feel soft and inviting. Even weak winter sun feels stronger when experienced indoors, giving warmth to both body and mind. This combination of temperature, light, and quiet creates a sense of sanctuary. The human brain recognizes this sanctuary and responds with calm, relaxation, and a subtle feeling of contentment. Winter encourages these responses naturally, using the environment to slow life and soothe the senses. Finally, the cold outside gives meaning to every cozy space we find. Winter teaches us to appreciate warmth in ways no other season can. It transforms ordinary rooms, objects, and actions into sources of comfort. By noticing the warmth that contrasts with the chill, the mind finds a gentle rhythm. Thoughts slow, breathing becomes calm, and the body relaxes. Each layer of clothing, each heated space, and each soft blanket adds to a sense of security that feels almost sacred. Winter hides this gift of calm inside its icy exterior, and it is up to us to seek it, notice it, and allow it to soothe our minds and bodies. Winter nights have a special kind of sky that feels different from any other season. The air is colder, and with cold air comes a unique clarity that makes the stars shine more brightly. On a crisp winter evening, the sky appears sharper, deeper, and almost endless. There is a calmness in this clarity that invites quiet attention. Looking up at winter constellations, it feels like the universe has pressed pause, giving us a moment of stillness. The cold does more than chill the skin. It clears the eyes and the mind, allowing us to see faraway stars that might seem dimmer in warmer months. One of the reasons winter skies appear brighter is that cold air holds less moisture. In summer, warm air can carry tiny water droplets that scatter light, making the night seem hazy. During winter, those droplets are fewer, and the atmosphere is cleaner. Light from distant stars passes through with less interference, making each star twinkle more clearly. It is as if the sky has polished itself, revealing details that are often hidden. Even planets, which are not as bright as stars, can appear more vivid and striking. This is why astronomers often plan their observations in winter. The season's natural clarity creates a perfect backdrop for quiet stargazing. The constellations themselves seem to take on a different personality in winter. Familiar groups of stars like Orion, Taurus, and Gemini appear higher in the sky, and their shapes are easier to distinguish. The patterns feel calm and deliberate, almost like a carefully arranged design. Winter constellations are often associated with stories of hunters, bulls, and twins, but beyond mythology, their visual presence has a soothing effect. Following the lines of stars with your eyes encourages a sense of focus and gentle meditation. The night sky becomes a soft guide, leading the mind to slow down and appreciate the quiet rhythm of the universe. Cold winter nights also reduce atmospheric turbulence. Heat rising from the ground can cause flickering or shimmering in the air, which is common in warmer seasons. In winter, this turbulence is minimal. Stars appear steadier, almost as if they are frozen in place, and their light feels calm and reassuring. The steadiness of winter stars provides a sense of stability that is rare in everyday life. It is easy to forget the constant motion of the world when gazing at the sky. Each star seems fixed, timeless, and patient. There is something comforting in this stillness, as if the night itself is holding its breath to allow quiet observation. The cold affects not only the clarity but also the perception of color in the sky. Winter nights often appear darker, and the stars seem to shine with a slightly colder, whiter light. This contrast between the deep sky and the bright points of light is more pronounced, making the celestial patterns stand out. Sometimes, planets with a faint yellow or red hue can be seen more distinctly against the deep blue of the winter night. The quiet tones of winter skies create a gentle visual harmony, which is both calming and mesmerizing. The beauty of the scene does not demand attention, but invites it slowly and softly, encouraging a relaxed state of mind. Winter skies also bring early evenings, which means stargazing can start sooner. The long nights give more time to notice subtle details, such as faint stars or the soft glow of the Milky Way. With fewer distractions and earlier darkness, there is more opportunity for reflection and connection with the vastness of space. The quiet of a winter evening enhances the experience. When the ground is covered with snow, the landscape reflects light from the stars, subtly illuminating the surroundings. The combination of bright stars and gentle snow creates a scene that feels both magical and peaceful. It is a season that encourages stillness, thoughtfulness, and wonder. The sensation of cold also sharpens the senses. Each breath of crisp air feels alive, and the quiet of winter nights makes sounds more noticeable. The soft crunch of snow underfoot or the distant call of an owl seems clearer. This sensory sharpening complements the visual clarity of the stars. It is as if winter heightens awareness, making us more present in the moment. The experience of watching the sky becomes immersive. Eyes, ears, and skin all register the cold and quiet simultaneously, creating a unique feeling that combines alertness and calm. The night sky seems to respond to this still attention, appearing even more vibrant and detailed. Light pollution is often less noticeable in winter. People tend to spend more time indoors, and the atmosphere disperses city lights differently when it is cold. This allows the stars to appear closer and more numerous. In rural areas or high-altitude locations, the effect is even more dramatic. It feels as though the universe has opened a window just for the observer, offering a clear, uninterrupted view of the celestial patterns. Even a few minutes spent under this sky can have a meditative effect, encouraging the mind to slow down and settle. The vastness of space contrasts gently with the human world, reminding us of scale while bringing a quiet sense of peace. The patterns of winter stars are also excellent for tracking movement. The constellations rise and set in predictable ways, and the cold, clear air makes them easier to follow. By observing the night sky, one can notice subtle shifts in position over hours or days. This gentle passage of time, marked by fixed stars against a dark background, is comforting. It gives a sense of continuity and order in a world that often feels unpredictable. Winter encourages patience, allowing the mind to absorb calm from the repeated, unchanging presence of celestial objects. The constellations act as both teachers and companions, providing a quiet rhythm to the night. Stars on winter nights can also create a sense of wonder because they are often associated with stories and imagination. The sky invites curiosity. Children and adults alike can trace imaginary lines between stars, inventing their own narratives. Even adults find solace in the symbolic meanings of constellations, recalling tales passed down through generations. These stories add depth to the visual experience, giving the eyes something to explore and the mind something gentle to consider. The quiet narratives of winter constellations complement the physical calm of the night air, forming a combination that is deeply relaxing. Winter skies make the mind notice contrasts. The blackness above makes stars feel more intense, and the subtle glow of the moon adds depth. Even faint auroras in some regions can appear more vivid during cold nights. Observing these contrasts, the mind naturally slows down and pays attention without pressure. There is no rush in the winter sky. Every star, every distant planet, and every faint trail of light encourages a soft, unhurried focus. The visual simplicity of the night, combined with the sensory sharpness brought by cold, creates a calm that is both deep and gentle. The cold encourages preparation for observation. People wrap themselves in blankets, bring hot drinks, and choose comfortable positions to stay warm while watching the sky. These small rituals add to the sense of calm and anticipation. Winter becomes a time of mindfulness, where the external chill highlights the internal comfort and presence. Each breath of cold air, each moment of quiet, is an invitation to appreciate the sky and the world around it. The act of noticing stars in winter becomes a meditative practice, helping the mind let go of stress and tension. Finally, winter nights with crystal-clear stars remind us of the beauty of contrast. Cold air, quiet landscapes, and bright points of light combine to create an experience that is rare and precious. The simplicity and clarity of winter skies encourage reflection and a gentle focus on the present moment. The combination of sensory sharpness, visual clarity, and natural stillness makes stargazing in winter one of the most calming experiences. In the quiet of a winter night, under crystal stars, the mind can find space to rest, and the heart can notice the soft, simple wonders of the universe in a way that feels deeply relaxing. Glaciers are some of the most fascinating features of winter landscapes. They appear solid and unchanging at first glance, stretching across valleys and mountains like enormous frozen rivers. But glaciers are never truly still. They move, slowly and almost imperceptibly, carrying snow, ice, and rock over long distances. The movement is so gradual that it may seem like nothing is happening, yet over years and decades, glaciers can reshape entire valleys. Watching them can feel peaceful because the motion is deliberate and silent. Unlike rushing rivers or crashing waves, glaciers slide with a quiet, unstoppable patience. The snow and ice that form glaciers begin high in the mountains. Each winter, layers of snow accumulate, compressing the older layers beneath them. Over time, the snow transforms into dense ice. The weight of new snow above presses down, squeezing out air bubbles and forcing ice crystals to interlock tightly. This compression process can take decades, even centuries, creating a solid mass that records the history of past winters. Each layer of a glacier is like a page in a book, holding information about the climate, snowfall, and even dust or pollen that fell long ago. Standing near a glacier, it is possible to imagine the silent stories contained within its frozen layers. As glaciers grow older, their ice often takes on a deep blue hue. This blue color is not a reflection of the sky, but a result of how light interacts with the dense ice. When light enters the ice, red wavelengths are absorbed, leaving blue light to emerge. The older and denser the ice, the more vivid the blue becomes. This color gives glaciers a quiet, otherworldly beauty. It is both calming and humbling to look at an ancient glacier, knowing that it has held centuries of frozen snow and ice, preserved perfectly in time. The deep blue reminds us of winter's slow and patient power. Glaciers can move because of gravity and the pressure of their own weight. The ice slowly deforms and slides down valleys, sometimes over rock, sometimes through ice tunnels formed within the glacier itself. The movement is almost imperceptible on a day-to-day basis, but over years the ice advances or retreats in ways that shape mountains and carve landscapes. Rocks embedded in the ice scrape against the ground, leaving behind smooth surfaces or deep grooves called striations. These marks are evidence of the glacier's silent work, a reminder that winter can shape the world even when everything seems still. Observing these details encourages a sense of wonder and calm, as the glacier teaches patience and the quiet passage of time. Beneath the surface, glaciers hide complex networks of ice layers and tunnels. Meltwater sometimes collects and flows slowly through these channels, lubricating the ice and affecting its movement. Crevasses form when ice layers shift or crack under pressure, creating dramatic lines that reflect both the tension and the resilience of ice. These features are stunning yet gentle in their presence, offering a glimpse into the hidden life of glaciers. The silent creaking and occasional small cracking sounds from ice can be heard by anyone near a glacier, reminding us of the quiet power contained in frozen landscapes. The sounds are not harsh. Instead, they have a soft, resonant quality that captures the deep stillness of winter. Icefields, which are vast expanses of interconnected glaciers, add another layer of wonder to winter landscapes. These wide areas of ice stretch as far as the eye can see, with smooth surfaces broken occasionally by ridges or small peaks called nunataks, which poke through the ice. Ice fields act as natural reservoirs of fresh water, storing snow and ice that can last for thousands of years. The surface often appears uniform from a distance, but up close, tiny details emerge. Snow grains sparkle softly in sunlight, cracks create geometric patterns, and subtle shades of blue and white play across the ice. Walking across an ice field or simply observing it can create a sense of deep calm as the mind absorbs the quiet beauty of these frozen expanses. Ancient snow and ice in glaciers also preserve clues about the Earth's past. Layers of compacted snow can contain trapped air, pollen, volcanic ash, and dust particles from centuries ago. Scientists can analyze these layers to understand past climates, temperature changes, and even the composition of the atmosphere. Each sample from deep within a glacier is like a time capsule, holding evidence of winters long gone. The idea that ice can preserve such detailed history is soothing in its own way, because it shows how winter can maintain order and clarity over vast stretches of time. There is a gentle reassurance in knowing that even as the world changes, some parts of winter remain perfectly preserved. Glaciers also influence the sounds and mood of the surrounding environment. The ice absorbs noise, creating a soft, muted landscape. Wind sweeping across a glacier can produce low hums or whistling tones, and the occasional creak of moving ice adds a calm, rhythmic element to the scene. These sounds are quiet, not overwhelming, and they help the mind feel relaxed. The combination of visual stillness and subtle audio cues creates a unique atmosphere, one that encourages reflection and slow, gentle breathing. Standing near or watching glaciers is like entering a sanctuary of winter calm. The edges of glaciers often meet rock and soil, creating a mix of ice and earth known as moraines. These areas show the interaction between frozen water and the land it moves across. Rocks and sediment embedded in the ice are slowly transported down valleys, leaving behind intricate patterns when the ice melts. The patterns are irregular but natural, reflecting the quiet, patient shaping power of glaciers. Observing these formations encourages a sense of harmony with the environment, as it becomes clear that winter shapes everything it touches in careful, persistent ways. Glaciers, icefields, and ancient snow are reminders of winter's patience and quiet power. They show that change does not always have to be loud or fast to be profound. The slow compression of snow into ice, the gentle movement down valleys, and the soft blue glow of old ice all create a sense of serenity. Winter teaches that stillness and calm can produce great beauty and transformation. Spending time near glaciers or even imagining their quiet motion can bring the mind into a relaxed, restful state. Even the tiniest details in glaciers reveal something special. Small cracks in ice layers, tiny trapped bubbles, and subtle color changes all tell a story about the environment and the seasons. Observing these details gently encourages mindfulness. The act of noticing without needing to change anything aligns perfectly with the quiet nature of winter. It reminds the mind that beauty and calm can be found in subtlety, and that patience is its own reward. Finally, glaciers and ancient ice hold a sense of timelessness that is deeply soothing. They are older than any human memory, yet they are visible and present. Standing near a glacier or imagining its vast frozen expanse allows the mind to feel a gentle connection to something much larger and slower than our daily lives. There is peace in this connection, a reminder that winter's slow, silent processes continue regardless of our activity. The ice preserves, shapes, and reflects the season in ways that are both calm and magnificent, making it one of the most relaxing aspects of winter to observe and imagine. The polar regions of our planet are home to some of the most extraordinary and calming sights in winter, and perhaps nothing is more magical than the northern lights. These lights, or auroras, appear as soft dancing ribbons of green, pink, and sometimes purple that move gracefully across the night sky. They are caused by particles from the sun colliding with the Earth's magnetic field, and although the science behind them is fascinating, the effect is gentle and hypnotic. Watching the lights sway slowly overhead can feel like seeing the sky breathe, a quiet performance that stretches for hours. The colors are never harsh, always soft, and their slow, flowing patterns encourage a sense of calm and wonder. During polar winters, the sun barely rises, or sometimes it does not rise at all. These long nights create a unique feeling of stillness that spreads across the frozen landscapes. The absence of sunlight does not bring gloom, however. Instead, it creates a peaceful darkness, a quiet world where the usual rush of life seems to pause. Shadows stretch long over ice and snow, reflecting soft glows from distant auroras or the pale light of the moon. Even in the dark, subtle colors emerge in the snow, soft blues and muted grays that invite the mind to relax. The darkness itself becomes soothing, a calm blanket covering everything beneath it. The frozen landscapes of the polar regions are striking in their quiet beauty. Vast ice fields extend as far as the eye can see, broken only by ridges or frozen rivers. Snowdrifts form gentle hills that rise and fall, and the occasional exposed rock adds contrast without disrupting the stillness. These landscapes feel untouched, as if time has slowed down, giving every detail a chance to be noticed. Walking through such areas or even imagining them creates a sense of isolation that is surprisingly comforting. There are no sudden noises, no interruptions, just the steady, silent presence of ice and snow. This silence allows the mind to settle, focusing on the calm patterns in front of it. Auroras appear most often in areas near the magnetic poles, where the interaction between solar particles and the Earth's atmosphere is strongest. The lights are unpredictable, sometimes appearing as faint glows and other times bursting into bright, sweeping curtains across the sky. Observers often describe feeling a gentle awe, a sensation that the world has slowed and that nature is showing something extraordinary without demanding attention. Unlike storms or harsh weather, auroras are soft in both appearance and effect. They encourage quiet observation, helping the mind settle into a restful state. Watching them is like seeing winter's hidden energy expressed in colors and movement that are entirely gentle. Polar darkness also emphasizes other small, beautiful details. Snow and ice can reflect the faintest light, creating sparkling surfaces that seem to glow in the night. Frost forms delicate patterns on windows or frozen plants, each crystal unique and intricate. Even the simplest shapes, a curve of snow on a branch or the shimmer of ice on a lake, become more noticeable in the low light. The mind naturally slows down to take in these details, a process that encourages relaxation. In this way, the polar night becomes a teacher of calm observation, showing that even without bright sunlight, the world holds beauty and softness. Cold temperatures add to the quiet feeling of polar winters. The air is crisp and still, carrying only the softest sounds. Snow absorbs most noises, and the distant cracking of ice or the faint wind over an ice field feels peaceful rather than alarming. Even wildlife moves carefully, conserving energy in the extreme cold. Polar foxes, reindeer, and birds that remain active in winter do so quietly, adding to the sense of gentle movement rather than chaos. Listening to these subtle sounds, or simply imagining them, is soothing. It creates a rhythm of quiet life that aligns with the soft, flowing auroras above. The combination of auroras and polar darkness also affects perception in calming ways. Without bright sunlight to dominate the scene, the brain focuses on subtler contrasts and textures. Snow and ice seem softer, and shadows stretch gently across the landscape. This muted visual world allows the mind to relax, reducing the usual stimulation from colors and movement. It is a natural environment for winding down, almost like the earth itself is encouraging rest. Even short exposures to this scenery can leave a lasting sense of tranquility. Auroras are not only visually calming, but they also inspire a sense of connection to the wider universe. The particles that cause the lights travel from the sun over hundreds of millions of kilometers and then interact with Earth's magnetic field. Thinking about this long journey and the slow, gentle reaction in the sky can evoke a peaceful perspective. Problems and stresses seem smaller when placed against the vastness of polar winters. The mind experiences a type of calm wonder, recognizing that life continues in quiet rhythms, even in extreme conditions. Another peaceful aspect of polar winters is the way ice and snow preserve the landscape. Lakes freeze solid, creating smooth, reflective surfaces. Snow layers can hide rocks or small plants, forming soft blankets that cover the world evenly. This uniformity adds to the mental feeling of order and calm. It is easier for the mind to rest when the surroundings are simple and harmonious. Observers often notice that their breathing slows, their thoughts soften, and a gentle sense of serenity takes over. The cold air itself is refreshing and invigorating, yet it also encourages stillness. Polar winds are often soft and constant, brushing lightly over snowfields and carrying the subtle scent of ice and frozen earth. Breathing in this crisp air can feel cleansing, as if each inhalation carries away stress. At the same time, The body naturally seeks warmth and shelter, making hot drinks, thick clothing, or a small cabin feel deeply comforting. This combination of cold and warmth heightens awareness of comfort and safety, which in turn encourages mental relaxation. Even when the polar regions are in complete darkness, there are tiny movements and changes that add to the serene experience. Shifting ice sheets, the faint ripple of snow underfoot, or a distant animal moving across the snow, all happen slowly and quietly. The calm environment heightens the perception of these small events, allowing the mind to notice without tension or urgency. It is a reminder that winter does not need to be loud or active to be alive. Life continues in subtle ways, encouraging observation and appreciation of gentle processes. The colors of auroras are also uniquely soothing. Soft greens, gentle pinks, and occasional purples flow across the sky in long, waving lines. These colors are never sharp or aggressive. Instead, they blend into one another, forming patterns that seem alive yet peaceful. The effect is like watching a painting slowly come to life in the night sky. The colors and motion together create a feeling of safety and relaxation, drawing attention away from daily worries. It is easy to imagine letting the eyes follow the patterns until the mind itself slows down. In polar winters, even time feels slower. Without the usual cues of daylight and human activity, hours pass quietly. Observers notice changes in the snow, in ice, and in the faint auroras overhead. The quiet environment encourages introspection and calm. It is an opportunity to let thoughts settle, to enjoy the gentle movement of nature without pressure. This slower perception of time is part of what makes winter in the polar regions so relaxing. The world seems patient, inviting those who experience it to slow down in return. The northern lights and polar darkness together create a unique form of beauty that is soft and restorative. The combination of visual wonder, gentle sounds, and peaceful cold encourages a sense of mental quiet. Observing these phenomena teaches patience, attention, and appreciation for subtlety. Each moment of watching auroras, noticing ice patterns, or feeling the still air helps the mind relax, making it easier to unwind. The experience of winter in the polar regions is unlike any other, offering a calm and meditative environment for those who seek it. Finally, the polar regions during winter show how quiet and still nature can be while still being alive. The auroras float softly in the sky, the snow absorbs sounds, and the frozen landscapes move slowly in the flow of seasons. Animals act quietly, ice reflects faint light, and even small weather changes happen gently. All of these elements combine to create an atmosphere of calm, wonder, and peace. Spending time in this world, or imagining it, provides a deep sense of restfulness. The northern lights and polar winter nights are reminders that stillness can hold magic, and that calm beauty exists even in the coldest and darkest places on Earth. Winter nights have a special kind of quiet that feels different from any other season. The air is colder, denser, and cleaner, and this changes the way sound moves. Even small noises can travel farther, reaching places they might never reach in warmer months. A distant dog barking, the faint creak of a wooden fence, or the soft crunch of footsteps on snow can be heard clearly. This quietness feels comforting rather than startling, as if the world has slowed down just enough for each sound to be noticed. It is a calm, natural music of the season, and the mind responds by settling into a more relaxed state. The cold air itself contributes to the peaceful feeling. When air temperature drops, air molecules move more slowly and pack closer together. This makes the air denser, and sound travels differently through it. Some noises become sharper, more distinct, while others seem softer and muted. This change in sound adds to the sensation that the night is calm but alive. The silence is not empty. It has a gentle weight, a presence that feels both soothing and profound. It is as if the world itself is taking a deep breath, inviting anyone listening to do the same. Snow is a major reason why winter nights feel so peaceful. Fresh snow absorbs sound, acting like a thick, soft blanket over the landscape. Roads, fields, and rooftops covered in snow reflect less noise than bare ground, reducing echoes and muffling distant sounds. Even a busy street can seem quiet after a snowfall because the snow softens the usual harsh noises of traffic. Walking outside on snow makes only gentle crunching sounds. Every step seems slower and more deliberate, adding to the natural rhythm of winter nights. Distant sounds behave differently in cold winter air. Because the air is dense and still, small noises can carry for surprising distances. A branch breaking on a frozen lake or the sound of wind moving over a snowdrift can be heard from far away. These sounds are usually faint, almost like whispers, but they feel closer than they actually are. The effect is calming, as the brain interprets these distant noises as gentle reminders that life continues quietly around you. Even in darkness, this subtle background presence makes the world feel alive but not overwhelming. The darkness of winter nights adds to the sense of peace. Without strong sunlight, contrasts between objects are softer, and shadows become long and muted. The dim light of the moon, stars, or distant auroras reflects gently off snow and ice, creating a faint glow that is easy on the eyes. This low-light environment encourages relaxation, and it blends naturally with the quiet sounds around. The combination of soft illumination and hushed noise creates an environment where the mind can rest without being pulled in different directions. The brain responds to these conditions in calming ways. The low light and quiet environment signal that it is time to slow down. Melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep, increases when light levels drop, preparing the body for rest. The absence of sudden noises also reduces adrenaline and stress responses, allowing muscles to relax and the heart rate to slow. Walking or simply sitting in this calm environment makes the body feel more at ease, and the mind begins to let go of everyday tension. Winter nights provide a natural setting that supports rest and recovery. Even sounds that might seem disruptive in other seasons feel gentle in winter. A distant train whistle, the howling of wind through trees, or the crack of ice on a pond does not jolt the senses. Instead, these noises become part of a rhythm that matches the quiet night. The brain interprets them as soft cues, like nature speaking slowly, not demanding attention, but inviting awareness. There is a subtle pattern in these sounds, a kind of winter music that soothes rather than excites. It is a reminder that stillness does not mean absence. Life is still present, moving quietly under the blanket of cold. Frozen landscapes themselves affect the soundscape. Lakes and rivers that freeze over act as resonant surfaces, carrying noise in unusual ways. A crack in ice or the fall of a snow-laden branch can echo across a wide area, producing long, low tones that are more musical than alarming. The rigid ice can amplify vibrations, turning small events into soft songs that travel through the frozen environment. This acoustic property is unique to winter, creating a sense of mystery and calm that is hard to find in warmer months. The silence of winter nights also feels heavier because of the lack of competing sounds. In summer, birds, insects, and flowing water constantly fill the air. In winter, these elements are quiet or absent. Without these distractions, every sound becomes more noticeable. Even the soft hiss of wind or the faint tapping of ice against a surface gains attention. This focus on subtle noises trains the mind to listen without stress. It enhances awareness while promoting relaxation, making the night feel both still and alive. Winter animals contribute to the unique sounds of the season, though they are often quiet. Many creatures slow their activity, conserving energy in the cold. Birds may roost in dense trees, moving only occasionally, and small mammals tuck themselves under snow or in burrows. These subtle movements create tiny sounds, barely perceptible but present. Listening to them encourages patience and mindfulness, turning the quiet night into a gentle observation of life continuing without rush. Even human activity changes in winter nights. People walk more carefully on icy surfaces, vehicles move slower, and outdoor voices are softer to avoid the harsh cold. This reduced human noise allows the natural quiet to dominate. When combined with the crisp, clear air and snow-covered landscapes, the environment feels like a living, breathing sanctuary. Every sound seems deliberate and soft, blending seamlessly with the atmosphere. The clarity of cold air enhances distant sounds in surprising ways. Wind carries faint noises from far away, such as a train whistle, a barking dog, or the soft creak of a wooden roof. These sounds are muted yet distinct, creating a sense of connection with places not immediately visible. The mind finds this reassuring as it perceives the continuity of life beyond immediate surroundings. It adds to the sensation that the world is peaceful, consistent, and harmonious. Snow itself changes the way sounds are perceived. Fresh, powdery snow absorbs higher frequencies, making loud noises feel softer. A falling branch or a distant car sounds less harsh, blending into the quiet. Ice, on the other hand, can create sharp, clear sounds when pressure is applied. Walking across a frozen pond produces crisp cracks that echo briefly. These variations in sound, combined with the muffling of snow, create a dynamic but calm winter night symphony. The combination of darkness, snow, and cold air creates a unique environment for the mind. The brain responds to the soft sounds in quiet spaces by slowing thought patterns and reducing stress. Breathing becomes deeper and more relaxed, muscles loosen naturally. Sitting by a window or walking outside in a winter night can feel like a gentle meditation, a natural way to calm both body and mind. The night becomes a teacher, showing how silence and subtle noise can provide rest and comfort. Even ordinary sounds feel special in winter. Footsteps, distant voices, or the low hum of a heater become part of the season's soundscape. There is a sense of intimacy, as if every noise is shared only with those paying close attention. The weight of silence between these sounds allows the mind to rest. Each pause, each soft echo, creates a rhythm that is soothing and gentle, making winter nights perfect for reflection or sleep preparation. Winter nights encourage slow observation. Watching snow settle, noticing the subtle movement of tree branches, or listening to distant ice cracking helps the mind focus on calm details rather than worry. The combination of visual calm and gentle auditory cues promotes relaxation. Every sound, every soft movement feels like part of the season's quiet story. This is why winter nights are uniquely peaceful and why they create an environment ideal for calming the mind before rest. The cold, dense air, snow-covered landscapes, and quiet wildlife all contribute to an environment where the brain can relax. Even noises that might otherwise feel abrupt are softened, giving a sense of continuity and calm. Listening carefully, one begins to notice patterns and rhythms that are entirely natural, encouraging mental rest. Winter nights become a sanctuary, a quiet place where the mind can slow down, and every sound is gentle company. Finally, winter nights teach us to appreciate the beauty of quiet. The stillness is not empty. It is filled with subtle, calming sounds that move slowly through the cold air. The snow absorbs and softens, the ice carries and echoes, and distant noises remind us of life continuing gently. Together, these elements create an experience of serenity and peacefulness that is unlike any other season. Winter nights are a gentle invitation to rest, to listen, and to let the mind settle into calm awareness, preparing the body and spirit for a deep, restorative sleep. Winter has a way of changing more than just the weather. The season can shift moods in subtle ways, touching both the mind and the body. The colder temperatures, shorter days, and longer nights all play a role in how people feel and behave. For many, winter brings a quiet, reflective state, a feeling that life slows down just enough to notice small things. The bright, energetic pace of summer fades, replaced by softer rhythms that match the lengthening shadows and crisp air. The mind seems to move more gently, and thoughts often turn inward, exploring memories, feelings, and small details that are easy to overlook during busier months. One reason for this shift is the way light affects brain chemistry. During winter, the sun rises later and sets earlier, reducing the hours of bright daylight. This change influences the production of serotonin, a chemical in the brain that contributes to feelings of happiness and energy. Lower serotonin levels can make people feel calmer, quieter, and sometimes more introspective. At the same time, the reduced daylight triggers the release of melatonin, the hormone that signals the body to prepare for rest. As melatonin increases, sleepiness arrives earlier in the evening, and the body naturally begins to slow down. These chemical shifts do not happen suddenly but gradually adjust the mood, guiding people toward a more reflective, serene state. The slower pace of winter encourages a different kind of attention. In warmer seasons, people are often focused on external activities, work, travel, social events, and outdoor fun. Winter subtly redirects energy inward. People notice the patterns of frost on windows, the shapes of snowflakes on the ground, and the quiet sounds of icy winds. Even small daily routines like making a warm drink or lighting a fire become more meaningful. The mind takes in details it might ignore during faster seasons, and this awareness brings a gentle satisfaction. It is a quiet kind of mindfulness that comes naturally when days are shorter and nights longer. Psychologists have noticed that winter can make people more reflective. Without constant distractions, the brain starts to review the year, assess goals, and consider personal growth. This reflection is often peaceful, almost meditative. It does not push for immediate action, but allows space for understanding oneself. Winter nights, with their calm and quiet, provide the perfect setting for these moments. Sitting near a window, watching snow settle outside, or simply listening to the stillness can encourage thoughts to unfold gently, revealing patterns, memories, and feelings that are usually overlooked. Seasonal changes also affect energy levels. The cooler temperatures require the body to use more energy to stay warm, which naturally encourages rest. People often feel content to stay indoors, wrapped in blankets or cozy clothing, moving more slowly and purposefully. These slower movements reinforce the reflective mood, as there is time to notice subtleties in surroundings and personal thoughts. Walking outside in crisp winter air can also heighten awareness. Each sound, the crunch of snow underfoot, the distant call of a bird, the shimmer of frost on branches, all become small points of focus that draw attention to the present moment. The winter mood shift is connected to social patterns as well. People tend to gather indoors, spending more time with close family or friends, or simply enjoying solitude. This shift supports introspection, as fewer social pressures allow for quiet thinking. Conversation in these moments is often slower, softer, and more meaningful, with less focus on busy schedules and more on personal stories or gentle humor. These interactions contribute to the sense of calm that winter naturally brings. Even the way communities operate during cold months emphasizes reflection. Streets are quieter, traffic is slower, and outdoor activity is subdued. This overall reduction in noise and movement allows both mind and body to settle into a natural rhythm that encourages rest, thoughtfulness, and emotional awareness. Nature itself reinforces this reflective state. Snow-covered landscapes and frozen lakes act as mirrors of calm, inviting, quiet observation. Trees, stripped of leaves, reveal skeletal branches that seem to reach toward the sky in stillness. The light is softer, casting long shadows and pale colors that encourage a slower way of seeing the world. The quiet air carries fewer distractions, and sounds are muted, which deepens the sense of being in a different, calmer space. In this environment, the brain feels safe to slow down, to reflect, and to notice feelings that are easier to ignore in busier, warmer seasons. Even the rhythm of daily life changes. Shorter daylight hours naturally shift schedules. People wake and sleep with the sun more than in other seasons. Meals are often warmer and richer, providing comfort and satisfaction. These changes combine to create a sense of safety and ease, allowing the mind to explore thoughts without pressure. Winter encourages pauses, not for rest alone, but for gentle observation and understanding of oneself and the world. Another element of winter's effect on mood is the sensory experience. Cold air feels crisp and invigorating, yet it simultaneously encourages cozy responses. Warm drinks, soft clothing, and heated spaces become comforting companions to the quieter environment. These physical sensations influence emotional states. Comfort in the body leads to calm in the mind, allowing reflection to occur naturally. Even the simple act of breathing in cold, clean air can heighten awareness and encourage a meditative state. The winter mood shift also enhances creativity for some people. The combination of stillness, calm, and soft lighting encourages mental exploration. Writers, artists, and thinkers often find inspiration in winter's quiet patterns. Observing the slow fall of snow or the crystalline shimmer of frost can trigger imaginative thoughts. The brain has fewer external distractions and more space to form connections between ideas. Winter, in this way, becomes both a restful and creatively fertile season, allowing minds to wander thoughtfully and calmly. Psychological research shows that reflection during winter can support emotional health. While some may experience mild seasonal mood changes, the reflective state encouraged by winter helps in processing emotions. It provides an opportunity to understand personal experiences and to plan gently for the future. The season's calm encourages patience, self-compassion, and acceptance of slower rhythms. Even simple routines like reading, journaling, or walking in the cold air become tools for emotional clarity. Winter also teaches mindfulness in practical ways. By paying attention to subtle changes in light, temperature, or sound, people become more present. Noticing frost patterns, the way light shifts through a bare tree, or the soft echo of footsteps on snow fosters awareness of the immediate moment. These small, calm observations train the mind to appreciate subtle beauty, cultivating a sense of gratitude and presence. The brain enjoys this slower engagement, responding with reduced stress and increased clarity. Social and natural environments together create a feedback loop that enhances winter's reflective effects. Quiet streets, snow-covered fields, and calm indoor spaces all support a mood that values observation, contemplation, and gentle emotional processing. People feel less rushed and more capable of pausing to notice details and emotions. The cold, the snow, and the soft light work together to make slower thinking natural and enjoyable. In essence, winter's mood shift is a gift. It provides an opportunity to slow down, reflect, and notice both the inner and outer world with gentle clarity. The changes in light, temperature, and chemical responses in the brain combine to create a natural environment for calm thought and emotional processing. The season encourages mindfulness, reflection, and a gentle pace that contrasts with the intensity of busier months. Winter provides the perfect conditions for the mind and body to settle into quiet, thoughtful states, offering rest and insight in equal measure. By embracing the soft pace, the dim light, and the reflective environment, people can find comfort in winter. The slower days allow attention to return to personal feelings and surroundings. The cold encourages warmth and shelter, connection and introspection. The quiet nights, the clear skies, and the snow-covered landscapes all contribute to a natural environment that fosters reflection. Winter gently reshapes both routine and mind, creating space for thought, calm, and emotional clarity. The season teaches that slowing down is not a loss, but a natural rhythm. It shows that reflection can be soothing, even enjoyable, and that the body and mind respond positively to calmer days. Winter allows the human spirit to pause, take stock, and notice what really matters. Every short day, long night, and cold breeze encourages a gentle inward focus. The mood shift of winter is subtle, powerful, and deeply calming, offering an opportunity to rest, observe, and connect with oneself in ways that other seasons rarely provide. Winter is, in this way, not only a season of cold and snow, but also a season of calm, reflection, and quiet understanding. By noticing these changes, embracing slower days, and finding comfort in shorter light and colder air, people can experience the soft, restorative power of winter's mood shift. It is a time to slow the mind, settle the body, and let emotions find a peaceful, gentle space to exist, making the season one of quiet contemplation and natural serenity. Winter has long been seen as a season for rest and reflection, a time when the world seems to pause and slow down. Across cultures and centuries, people have noticed that nature itself takes a break during the cold months. Trees lose their leaves, animals reduce their activity, and rivers or lakes may freeze, all suggesting a natural pause. The stillness of the season invites humans to mirror this rhythm, to slow down and appreciate a gentler pace. There is something deeply calming about knowing that the world allows itself this time of quiet, and it can inspire a sense of ease in our own lives. In many cultures, winter is associated with rest and introspection. Ancient societies often marked the season with festivals, rituals, or ceremonies that honored the slowing of the year. These practices celebrated the time when work in the fields became minimal and the demands of daily life decreased. Families and communities would gather indoors, sharing warmth, stories, and simple comforts while the cold and darkness dominated outside. The idea that winter is a time to rest is rooted in observing the natural world and learning from its cycles. Just as the earth takes a break, people, too, are encouraged to pause and recover, to reflect on what has passed and prepare for what is to come. The emotional meaning of winter is subtle but powerful. Cold, shorter days can bring feelings of calm and serenity, while the quiet landscapes and soft light invite contemplation. Many people find comfort in these moments, enjoying slower mornings, warm drinks, and peaceful evenings. The season encourages mindfulness, helping individuals focus on simple pleasures and small details. Even the act of wrapping oneself in a blanket or sitting near a fire becomes an emotionally soothing ritual. Winter's emotional symbolism also emphasizes acceptance of stillness, teaching that rest is necessary and valuable. Winter's natural pauses extend to the environment itself. Rivers may slow or freeze, snow blankets the ground, and forests become hushed. Animals hibernate or reduce their activity, conserving energy for the spring. These natural adjustments show that rest is not weakness, but an essential part of life. Observing these patterns can help humans appreciate the balance between activity and stillness. It is a gentle reminder that slowing down is part of a larger rhythm, a natural part of existence. The quiet of winter allows for restoration, both physically and emotionally. Cultural traditions often highlight winter as a season for storytelling, creativity, and reflection. In colder climates, people historically spent long nights indoors, sharing tales or practicing crafts that would be difficult during busier seasons. These activities reinforced a sense of community and encouraged mental rest while still fostering creativity. The extended darkness and calm allowed for more focus on ideas, imagination, and meaningful conversation. In this way, winter serves as a reminder that slowing down can be both peaceful and productive. The physical environment of winter reinforces the symbolic pause. Snow absorbs sound, creating hushed landscapes where even small noises seem more noticeable. Frost on windows and ice on trees offer opportunities to observe delicate patterns and natural artistry. The quality of light during winter is softer, casting long shadows and creating a gentle glow that encourages reflection. These subtle sensory experiences promote calmness and help humans connect emotionally with the season. The environment seems to ask for slower movement, quiet observation, and deep breathing, all of which foster restfulness. Winter also carries a sense of endings and preparation. The cold months mark the conclusion of a growth cycle in nature, giving way to a period of renewal in spring. This natural pause encourages reflection on achievements, challenges, and lessons learned. Humans often use this time to evaluate personal goals, relationships, and daily routines. The season's symbolism can help people let go of unfinished business or unnecessary stress, making space for clarity and focus when the world begins to warm again. In this way, winter provides both closure and preparation, making it a season of emotional and mental balance. Rest during winter is not just physical but also emotional. The reduced sunlight encourages longer sleep and earlier bedtimes, aligning the body with natural rhythms. The cooler air slows the pace of daily life, and the need for warmth encourages cozy indoor activities. People often find themselves more introspective, noticing subtle emotions and thoughts that might be overlooked during faster seasons. This reflection can bring emotional insight, creativity, and a deeper connection to oneself. Winter becomes a time to recharge, not just in body but also in mind and heart. The symbolism of winter extends to literature and art. Poets, writers, and artists often use the season to explore themes of rest, reflection, and quiet transformation. Snow-covered landscapes, long nights, and pale sunlight evoke feelings of stillness and peace. Stories set in winter frequently focus on internal journeys, emotional growth, and intimate connections rather than external action. This cultural portrayal reinforces the idea that winter is a time for contemplation and gentle observation. Art captures the season's ability to pause life, to notice small details, and to value calm moments. Even modern life can benefit from embracing winter's symbolic rest. In a world that often encourages constant activity, the season offers a natural excuse to slow down. People can take longer walks, sit quietly with a warm beverage, or enjoy hobbies without the pressure of time. The cold, calm days and long nights provide a framework for self-care and relaxation. Winter reminds us that taking breaks, reflecting, and appreciating small joys are necessary for well-being. It is a season that supports mental clarity, emotional calm, and physical restoration. The emotional comfort of winter comes from its combination of quiet, cold, and soft light. These elements work together to create spaces where it is safe to slow down. Nature, culture, and personal habits all align to encourage rest. People notice subtle sounds, delicate visual details, and gentle tactile sensations more clearly. This awareness helps create an inner sense of peace, reinforcing the symbolic message of winter as a season of pause. The slower pace and calmer environment support mindfulness and introspection, making the season ideal for reflection and emotional recovery. Winter also encourages connection through shared warmth and shelter. Families and friends gather indoors, creating cozy spaces that contrast with the cold outside. Meals are slower, conversations are softer, and shared experiences feel more meaningful. Even simple interactions like watching snowfall together or enjoying quiet evenings by a fire strengthen bonds. The season's symbolic rest is not only personal but communal, reminding people of the value of togetherness and care. Social and emotional rest occurs alongside physical and mental pauses, creating a complete sense of calm. The lessons of winter's symbolic rest are subtle yet profound. The season shows that slowing down, pausing, and reflecting are natural and necessary. It demonstrates that periods of calm allow both nature and humans to recover, observe, and grow. By embracing the stillness and quiet, people can learn to appreciate the gentle rhythms of life. Winter encourages noticing small details, valuing simple comforts, and reflecting on both external surroundings and internal experiences. The emotional meaning of winter is not only about surviving cold months, but about thriving in calm, peaceful, and restorative ways. As the season moves forward, the quiet of winter becomes an invitation to savor moments of stillness. Watching snow settle, feeling the crisp air, and enjoying warmth indoors all contribute to a gentle sense of contentment. The symbolic pause of winter encourages patience, reflection, and appreciation of what might otherwise be overlooked. It is a reminder that life does not always need to move quickly to be meaningful. Slowing down, resting, and observing are valuable parts of the human experience. Winter's symbolism teaches that rest is not a weakness but a strength. It provides an opportunity to recharge physically, emotionally, and mentally. The cold months help create perspective, encouraging introspection and deeper understanding of oneself. By accepting winter's slower pace, people can cultivate mindfulness, calm, and emotional clarity. The season offers a safe space to pause, reflect, and simply exist in a gentle, restorative environment. The quiet of winter can be soothing, comforting, and healing. It offers a chance to slow down without guilt, to observe both the inner and outer world, and to find calm in every small detail. By noticing patterns in nature, enjoying the soft light, and embracing stillness, people can connect with winter's symbolic message: rest is natural, necessary, and beautiful. The season's slower rhythm, softer light, and quiet landscapes all work together to provide an emotional and psychological space for renewal. In the end, winter reminds us that there is beauty in pause, meaning in rest, and comfort in calm. The season invites everyone to slow down, notice the world, and care for themselves and others. Its symbolic power lies in the ability to encourage reflection, nurture emotional health, and provide a space where life can feel simpler and softer. Winter is more than a season. It is a gentle teacher, guiding humans to find peace, rest, and contentment in quiet moments. As the snow settles, the cold air fills the lungs, and the soft light touches the world, it is possible to let go of rushing thoughts and embrace calm. Winter, with all its quiet, cold, and reflective beauty, encourages a gentle slowing of life. It asks only that people notice, rest, and appreciate the simple things. In this quiet, the mind finds clarity, the body finds warmth, and the heart finds peace. Winter teaches that rest is a natural rhythm of life, and by accepting it, each person can experience the season's soft, calming embrace.